It's yo boy the Muncher here, back with another video today, and we are ranking the Embry-Riddle majors going from S tier all the way to D tier. So what I wanted to make clear to you guys is that these majors are not going to be organized on what's harder and what's not generally, but it's going to be very subjective to Embry-Riddle and what's going to be best at Embry-Riddle itself. So let's start. Aeronautical science, one of the most important majors at Embry-Riddle. We have to put in the S tier as intellect. If you are a flight student who comes to Embry-Riddle and doesn't choose AS, what are you doing? And that brings us to aeronautics. From everybody I've talked to, aeronautics is one step lower than AS, but it's mostly done by people who fly outside of a Riddle. So we'll put in the smart tier. Aerospace and occupational safety. Believe it or not, companies are actually looking for very dedicated people within the aerospace engineering field. And I know major companies like Boeing and Airbus are always looking for safety people. We're gonna put this in the smart category. Aerospace engineering. Embry-Riddle has one of the largest aerospace engineering programs in the nation that's undergrad. Of course I have to put this in the intellect category. And no, that's not me being biased. Aerospace physiology. I'm telling you right now, you should not come to Embry-Riddle just to study physiology, but aerospace physiology is an extremely specific degree. For that reason, we're gonna put in the average. Astronomy and astrophysics. Alright, I don't know why you're at Embry-Riddle doing astronomy and astrophysics. I don't care if it's a space school. There are so many better programs in the United States that are so much cheaper. Yeah, Embry-Riddle is still decent at it, so I'm gonna put it at low IQ. Air traffic management. Air traffic management is very hard, and you're gonna find very few schools that execute this properly. For that reason, I'm putting it at intellect. Aviation business administration. I have the strongest urge to put this at animal classification, but the only reason I'm not gonna do it is because it's aviation based. And the reason the aviation part matters is because some people in the industry that are hiring within Boeing actually like seeing that. So I'll just put it at low IQ. Aviation maintenance science. This is one of those majors where people confuse it with aerospace engineering, because a lot of people confuse aerospace engineering with actually working on engines. Well, it's aviation maintenance science that actually does this. Regardless, this is one of the best schools for aviation maintenance science, so I have to put it at intellect tier. Civil engineering. Why the hell would you come to the school for civil engineering? The civil engineering program is not even good here. Animal classification. It gets even worse. Communication? Nobody even knows what communication majors do. If you do communication at Embry-Riddle, you should be embarrassed. Animal classification. Computational mathematics. Don't get me wrong, math has not changed much, but so many more well-known schools. We're gonna put it in low IQ. Computer science. Now at school, I tried my best not to embarrass these computer science majors, because everybody around them was thinking the same thing. Again, why do you come to this school? Not even a good program compared to others, and you can get all the information online. Animal classification. Computer engineering. Same thing as before. Animal classification. Engineering physics. Now, a lot of engineering physics people that I do know ended up going on to get a master's or a doctorate degree, and that is completely fine. From the professors and students that have been completely honest with me, this degree is absolutely worth it. But the same problem goes, not the best school for it. We're gonna put it in average. Global conflict studies. So this is one of those majors that really belongs in ROTC. And this school's ROTC program, especially in Air Force, is very good. Because it's so ROTC specific, I'm gonna have to put this at average. Homeland Security and Intelligence. Again, this is a ROTC thing. Most of us other Riddle students think it's pretty useless, but to the people who are actually going into law enforcement and going into ROTC is actually very good. And within Riddle and outside of Riddle, I've heard nothing but success stories coming from this major. I'm gonna be putting this in smart. Electrical engineering. I had an urge to put this in animal classification, but then I realized how much electrical engineering this school actually has. The electrical engineering professors at this school know what they're doing and what they want to teach, and it's very helpful because electrical engineering is required in many of the core classes. But as a major entirely for Riddle, I gotta put it at low IQ. Business administration. Even worse than aviation business administration, dude. Just business administration. This is one of the worst schools to get a bachelor's or a master's in business administration at. They are not known for anything. Get a STEM degree first and then pursue higher level in business administration, but not at Riddle. Animal classification. Human factor psychology. This is one of those majors that falls between low IQ and animal classification, but believe it or not, in the aviation industry, human factors is very important. Like in every major aerospace company, they will have a safety office with human factors team everywhere. And that's because most plane crashes are caused by human factors issues. If you are looking for a relatively easy degree to do that pays a good amount of money, human factors is it. I'll put this at low IQ because other schools do this degree and it's not uncommon. Interdisciplinary studies. What the hell does interdisciplinary studies even do? Animal classification. Space physics. Well, it's an aerospace school with a decent physics program. We'll put it at average. Mechanical engineering. I don't even think Riddle is a top 50 in mechanical engineering nationwide for undergraduate. And no, don't tell me that you came here to work on mechanical engineering for NASA or some other major company. Because you know for a fact, if you do ME at like MIT or Georgia Tech, they're gonna be choosing them over Riddle. We're gonna put ME at low IQ. Software engineering. I gotta put this in the same ranks as computer science and computer engineering. Animal classification. Space operations. It's a very specific major for Embry-Riddle, but it could get you very far in your career. And from the hundreds of jobs that I have applied for, I have seen space operations requirements a little bit everywhere. And Riddle is probably one of the better places you want to do space operations anyway. We'll put this at smart. Meteorology. Meteorology is a pretty generic program throughout the United States, and it just has to meet the basic requirements. But a little thing that adds to the meteorology name is Embry-Riddle. I'll put it at smart. Unmanned aircraft systems. Again, this is another ROTC type degree, but UAS is becoming fairly popular. And if you have UAS combined with ROTC, combined with the Embry-Riddle name, all three of those are your best chances to grow in the military. We're gonna put UAS at intellect. If you guys want to see more content like this, drop a sub and like this video to see more random shit.